Hello there and welcome to VR Vertigo. Guess what's on the screen behind me? The Valve Steam announcement and Half-life Alyx. What do these two things have in common? VR. That's what they have in common. VR. And I, for one, couldn't be more excited. Now, I'm not, I think, going to buy the Steam frame on release. I'd like to get a better idea of what it's all about. Although I do want to buy the console, but I'm a little bit torn because it's a console PC. There have been difficulties in the past. Is it going to be everything we want it to be? I mean, there is such a thing as optimization, and you can bet your bottom dollar that the console and the frame headset have been optimized out the wazoo, which is a good thing. This is what we want. We want optimization. But then Steam are saying, well, the machine is, or rather the Steam machine is a PC too. You can use it as a PC. And optimization doesn't do very well if it's split. So I'm a little undecided. Do I want to? Yes. But I don't want to drop a shed load of cash and then just be a little bit... And it's the same for the frame headset. You know, when you look at a new bit of kit, and I watch the announcements and then the various hands-on with great interest. And there were a couple of comments that said the headset wasn't as clear. Now, my common frame of reference is the PSVR 2, which is cracking, really. If you put in all the features, the eye tracking and the foveated rendering, etc., great headset. Really great headset. So is this something that we can look forward to? Will it have those features? I know we've got foveated streaming, which is a new take on the foveated rendering. Foveated rendering, as I understand it, gives you a game that when you're playing it, only makes clear the points in front of the pupils. So wherever you're looking, that small sweet spot, if you like, will be rendered with full clarity, and everything on the outside, it doesn't really matter so much. And it's a great idea because you're only looking at what you're looking at. You're not looking at the things you're not looking at. So what a great hack. Foveated streaming will do exactly the same thing, but as the game is being streamed to you. Because as far as we know right now, the Steam frame is a headset that doesn't have a lead, so it has to be streamed. And the foveated rendering will take place within that active streaming environment. At least that's how I understand it. And do correct me if I'm wrong, please. So to the release of the console. I talked on my other channel, No Access Required, about the fact that if Half-Life or the old Half-Life games or the old Half-Life games and a new version of Half-Life is announced as a launch title for the Steam machine, it will sell consoles, units. But what if, and the more I think about it, I think this is going to happen. What if Half-life Alyx is the launch title for the Steam frame? The release of Half-life Alyx was met with almost universal positivity. It's a great experience. It's a great game. And PSVR 2 might still be able to play it on the Steam machine. Because you can hook the PSVR 2 up to a PC, and the Steam machine, we're told, is a PC. So Xbox wittered on at great length how everything was an Xbox. turns out everything might end up being a Steam machine. So, can we look forward to Half-life Alyx in VR? I think so. Definitely on the Steam machine and Steam frame. But there's a bigger rumour. Half-Life, the new game, whatever shape that's going to take, is being rumoured as a launch title for the Steam machine. Wouldn't it just be one hell of a move if they made it also for VR? What if, and this is pure speculation on my part, every new game that's being developed for the Steam machine is also VR, thereby taking what Sony should have done on the release of PSVR 2 and making it real for the Steam machine? I think that the Steam machine is being released with great plans ahead. I've said quite clearly in the past that VR titles are going to form a worthy, solid addition to flat gaming on the Steam machine. I think that the back catalogue is going to be cherry-picked for VR titles. Steam have recognised something that PlayStation knew but didn't act upon, and that is VR is waiting for a gaming home to be born. What if that gaming home ends up being the Steam machine and the Steam frame? There's no point releasing a VR headset and having nothing to play on it. Sony! I'm being a bit unkind, and I do jest a little bit. But my point stands. So where does that leave us? It leaves us with a situation where we've got lots and lots of headsets to choose from, which is a wonderful, wonderful thing. In many ways, VR, in terms of its headsets, is taking up the slack where consoles have left off. They've become too cumbersome, too expensive. And VR headsets now represent, in many ways, a more accessible path into gaming. But what we need is a gaming ecosystem where we're just drenched in titles, where we have everything, a huge smorgasbord of games from which to choose. I mentioned very briefly how I felt that this kit announcement was a shot across the bows of Xbox. As Xbox sail away from consoles, they may have made a huge mistake. Because in a world where Xbox still means a box that sits next to your TV and you play games on, Xbox are trying to reinvent themselves. The problem is, not enough stories are being told. The ecosystem suffers from a glut of VR experiences, lightweight kind of things. And I think the true value of VR is when you present the user with the equivalent of a book to read, with full, rich stories and characters that you get to become invested in. Rockstar Games, I'm looking at you. The future of VR gaming is in storytelling. And with Steam's back catalogue, it seems like they are extremely well placed to give us what, as I say, will end up being the future of gaming. VR books. Do let me know what you think in the comments below. Do like, subscribe and share and comment if you'd like. And until next time, this is me signing off. Do look after yourselves.